It's the loudest roar I've ever heard at a cricket match. Welcome to my 10 biggest moments of the Ashes of the last 50 years. This is number 5, Steve Waugh's final ball 100. Steve Waugh was under immense pressure going into the final test at Sydney. All summer there'd been talk of is his time as Australia's captain and in the Australian side due to come up. He was in his late 30s, and the previous test at the MCG, he looked like he'd gotten the monkey off his back with a 70-odd in the first innings. But in the second innings, battling a migraine, he came out and looked hopeless and was out very quickly, could have been out 3 times. So the pressure was all back on him. Australia batted on the second day. The crowd was immense, and the roar as Steve Waugh came in was enormous, and he batted like he had done back when he was first in the Australian side, aggressively, excitingly, and the runs started to flow, but 50 wasn't going to be enough to keep him in the side. 100 was needed. Every ball seemed to come off the middle of his bat, and it looked like he was going to get to 100 well before stumps. But then he kind of got becalmed, and it came down to the final over. He was on 95, facing the spin of Dawson, and defended the first 3 balls, cracked the next ball out into the covers, and they scampered through for 3, taking him to 98, but he'd lost the strike. England deliberately allowed Adam Gilchrist to take a single off the next ball, figuring that maybe Waugh would do something and get himself out. Well, the next ball, he sighted it early. It was a quicker one, and his fast hands cracked it through the covers. I, as a massive Steve Waugh fan, far too much for my own good health, had been sitting there right in the front row at the SCG, and I was sitting at a kind of deep mid-wicket. And it was an enormously glorious feeling for something that I didn't do anything to contribute to. But the moment that I saw the ball hit the bat and I saw it pierce the field and it was destined for 4, it was an extraordinary moment. The reaction of the crowd, people say they could hear the roar from many a mile away. And it became one of maybe the defining moment of Steve Waugh's career. Had he not got those runs, he would have been dropped, I'm sure, and it would have been an ignominious end to his career. But the century meant that Steve Waugh could go out on his own terms, and did so a year later, scoring 80 against India at the same ground.